Let's play this clip from Donald Trump. You know, does anybody remember back in 2016, I think it was, before the election, even before that in 2015, I remember I kept hearing, you know, because like I'll sometimes listen to the John Batchelor show on WABC. He's this right winger, but also like the caliber of conversation is much more interesting. He does a lot of interviews, and I remember hearing him talk to some, I don't know if it was Heritage or whatever right wing think tank, that they were pushing this stuff about privatizing national parks, and I had heard it on another show, but like much less caliber of conversation, lower caliber of conversation. And I remember at one point, like I made a call on this program, and I believe it was over here. It was about 2 or 3 years ago. Send me articles about this, because I was convinced that they were going to push this agenda. And we're seeing it now. They are going to privatize the operations. This is step one, right? You privatize the operations of the national parks and the national monuments, and then you just simply privatize it. And that doesn't mean that you don't have access to it. It just means that, like, you got to pay maybe, $200-300, and it becomes like, you're going to Sandals or whatever.
It's a nature fun park.
Exactly. And of course, there's no reason not to put a Zoom Flume ride there, because people are coming and people love water parks.
How about a hotel?
And then, of course, a hotel.
And a casino.
A Trump casino.
Trump casino.
I mean, who better than me? All right, but here is Donald Trump.
That is why I'm here today. Because some people think that the natural resources of Utah should be controlled by a small handful of very distant bureaucrats located in Washington. And guess what? They're wrong. The families and communities of Utah know and love this land the best, and you know the best how to take care of your land. You know how to protect it. And you know best how to conserve this
Pause
land.
it. Hold on. Wait. Protect it? Like, what's going on? Is there some type of invasion that's happening in Utah that we don't know?
There's a lot of unused space for water park rides and hotels, and we need to protect it
from the bureaucrats.
From the bureaucrats.
The bureaucrats are coming there. They're sneaking on. They're doing the bureaucrats. What they do is they come in the middle of the night. They make campfires. They leave their bottles on the ground there, and then they sneak off. And that's the way they exert more control. They like to party, and then they say there's too many bottles.
Do you think Donald Trump's ever been on a hike in his life?
Okay, you ready for my impression of Donald Trump on a hike?
That's him getting out of the car.
Right.
Give me the canteen.
I need to turn around now.
Are
Sir, we haven't exited the SUV. Now.
And you know best how to conserve this land for many, many generations to come. Your timeless bond with the outdoors should not be replaced with the whims of regulators thousands and thousands of miles away.
Yes. They're thousands and thousands of miles away. There's no federal presence whatsoever at these monuments.
It's much better to have a corporate boardroom 100 miles away in charge of that has no democratic sort of responsiveness.
They understand, okay, Matt, and you I don't know, maybe you don't, maybe you do understand this, but nature adapts. And nature, if it doesn't adapt, it withers. So you need to test nature, and you need to make it adapt to new situations.
Sometimes it adapts by starting hills on fire.
Sometimes okay, but that's why you need to put in a hotel. Because if there's a hotel, what else is there?
I call it
cars and water, right? Because you'll have a hydrant, and then there won't be a fire.
This
Boom.
topography has been asking for deregulation for so long.
Screaming out,
just
unshackle us from these hills.
I call it the go into the dressing room at a beauty contest principle disruption.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos